What's going on, my fellow handicappers? This is Weekend Handicapper from weekendhandicapper.com. In this video, we're going to provide picks and analysis for the 2021 Smarty Jones. We got a race going on. Friday, yes, Friday afternoon, not Saturday. Friday afternoon is when this race occurs. Around 5:10, 4:10 Central Time, 5:10 Eastern Time at Oaklawn Park. It's race number 8, a field of 7, going 1 mile on the dirt, and it's a Derby prep race for the Kentucky Derby. Let's go through each one of these horses, contenders, runners, and I'll give you my picks and plays at the very end of this video. So again, a mile on the dirt at Oaklawn Park. And these horses are hoping to get in the starting gate for the Kentucky Derby. Number 1, Martini Blue. 1-for-1, shipping in from Hawthorne. That's about all we got to go on this horse. I mean, it won its last time out, ran a respectable speed figure. Now, can it improve? That's the thing that you hear me say all the time with these Derby prep races and these Derby trail races. You just never know. So you're talking about gambling. You don't know if these horses are reaching the ceiling or hitting their ceiling, or they're going to keep improving, such as the case with number 1, Martini Blue. Number 2, Lawlessness. 12-1 morning lines. We got a closer also coming in from Hawthorne. First time blinkers, which the trainer does really well with that angle when it puts blinkers first time on a horse, and does pretty good. Distance should be okay, but I'm not sure if this race, the race shape, as far as the pace setting up for this closer, I doubt it. To me, it seems like Oaklawn Park, you always want to be near the front end or on the lead for most races, which is another thing to kind of talk about. This is the first day of the meet when this Smarty Jones race takes place. So we don't have much to go on about what post positions win the most or how the track's playing. So you almost kind of can't factor that in too much or put too much emphasis on that. Number 3, Cowan. For Steve Asmussen, this horse been probably one of the most veteran, if you want to call the horse at this age a veteran, but it's raced just as much, and in fact more than many of the other horses in here. It was second last time out in Springboard Mile at Remington Park, which was a mile, of course, hence Springboard Mile, and it definitely has class, that's for sure, because it's been facing tough competition in the race, in the races that it's faced or raced in. So class definitely probably has a class edge, but I think it might be a bet against because it's 9-5 morning line. With those connections, the fact that it has raced in some pretty nice races and competed fairly well, at that low of a price, you might want to try to beat it. We'll see. Number 4, Big Thorn, another Steve Asmussen horse coming in from Gulfstream Park. It was disappointing in its last race, but if you throw that last race out, this horse has some good form. So can it bounce back to earlier success? For sure, out of the 2 Asmussen runners, number 3, Cowan, is probably the more logical preferred horse based on its numbers and things like that. So thing with number 4 is, can it bounce back from that performance last time and in fact improve? It probably has to improve pretty good to compete here. Number 5, Harley Suede, 15-1. Even though this horse has a 2-race winning streak, the figures, the class doesn't add up, doesn't match up well, I don't think, against these other runners in here. So that's why it's 15-1 morning line. So you're taking a big risk there probably to try to get that one home, at least for the win position. Number 6, very intriguing horse, Moonlight Strike, 4-1 morning line for trainer Joseph Saffie Jr. It's front running, which is good. I like that style. The trainer has a high win percentage. The distance shouldn't be an issue at all for this horse. So at 4-1, I think that's a good bet. If you can get anywhere around that, I think that makes a lot of sense here. Number 7, Caddo River. Caddo River, 5-2 with the lethal combination of Brad Cox training and Florent Giroux on board as the jockey. It's a tough combination to be. We all know how well Brad Cox is doing here lately, and this one's probably going to get bet down for that fact alone, probably. It's won at today's distance, coming off a layoff, but it crushed the field at Churchill. So that one's going to probably take a lot of money, and I think that's one of the storylines or things I'm going to be watching in this race is how will the number 3 Cowan actually be the morning line favorite when all said and done for Steve Asmussen, or will the number 7, will it get bet down because of those connections, the hot hand, the recent success of trainer Brad Cox? Will that horse get bet down from 5-2? Yes, I know it's going to get bet down from 5-2, but will it overtake the number 3 as the morning line favorite? So, how am I going to bet this year's Smarty Jones Stakes, a race that is on the road to the Kentucky Derby, on the Kentucky Derby Trail at Oaklawn Park? Again, race number 8 on Friday afternoon, okay? I think I'm going to take a stand against number 3, Cowan. Number 3, Cowan for Steve Asmussen, just because it's a short price, just because that's the logical thing to do. And I'm going to go with number 6, Moonlight Strike, because it offers better value. If for some reason the number 7, Caddo River, that the odds are better on that for some reason, I'll probably put a win bet on that. But I'm going with number 6 as far as win bets go. But I'm going to box the 6 and the 7. Caddo River with the number 6, Moonlight Strike, and hopefully those two won't wear each other out on the front end, and we can have a merry-go-round race basically, and I could cash an exacta at least if the number 6, Moonlight Strike, doesn't win. Of course, when I do these videos, it's not what I'm saying the most logical outcome or what's probably going to happen. I think of it in terms of a betting perspective. So I think the number 3, the number 7, you're probably not going to get any value at all whatsoever in a good return for your money for if you box those two, or if you factor those two in as far as win bet. So that's why I'm going to go take a little shot with number 6, Moonlight Strike. Let's see what happens. But I'm also going to include that horse with some exactas. So and another thing you could do is, if you really like number 3 or the number 7, but you also like number 6, you can also put the number 3 and number 7 on top and put the number 6 in the second position instead of betting that horse to place. I was mentioning this in a comment a while back, but instead of betting a horse to place, say I like the number 6, right? I'm going to bet it to win, but instead of betting it to place, I'll put it underneath some horses that are probably going to win or have a good shot at winning. And as long as my horse comes in first or second, then that's a good way to bet instead of betting the place. Just put your horse that you prefer in the second position and put 2 contenders that you think can beat your horse if your horse gets beat in the first position in the exactas. So that's a good little strategy that saves you money, saves you some money, but capitalize on your opinions, and it pays more than just betting the horse to place, right? Of course, it's more difficult because you got to get those other horses to win if your horse finishes second, but still, I think the risk justifies, or the reward justifies the risk. All right, so number 6, Moonlight Strike. Hopefully it will strike, and I will strike a little profit, not rich, but hopefully I'll strike a little profit in this race. Boxing the 6 and the 7, we'll see what the probables are going to be, or the payouts are going to be for the 3 over the 6. But I'm going to look at all those exacta probables and see what I can put together. So, but win bet wise, number 6, Moonlight Strike, hopefully it can overtake the 3 or the 7. I'll bet the 7 too if it offers good odds, but I doubt it because it's going to get bet down big time. Now, Friday afternoon, Hopefully I can get my Friday afternoon started right before I have a really nice Friday night. But who am I kidding? What are you talking about? It's still COVID going on. There ain't nothing to do. I'm going to be sitting at home on my couch probably Friday night. There ain't nowhere to go. No fun to be had except sitting at home playing some horses. All right, so I would like to hear who you like in this year's Smarty Jones Stakes if you're going to play it. I know Friday afternoon might be tough for some to play it, but leave a comment below. And until next time, this Weekend Handicapper, happy handicapping, smart wagering.